Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about the new episode of ReZero Season 3 on episode 13 or episode 63 of the total number of episodes. This episode right here was highly action-packed and very much uncensored. Dang, I give props to the studio one to make sure they give the satisfaction to all fans of ReZero, not to mention putting this on TV. So, if anything else, let's just get this started right away. We get to see that Garfield is fighting in his giant tiger form and ends up fighting against Kurgan. Unfortunately for Garfield, Kurgan was still stronger than him and ends up throwing him around like a rag doll and pushes it and kicks him down to a castle floor below. We don't really know where. But other than that, we have Alto and Felt facing off against Lai, one of the Sin Archbishops, which represents gluttony. Even though he had some animals doing some damage, unfortunately Lai is not really the person to be taken down to begin with, considering that he's been eating a lot of people and he's saying like, hey man, this is just a very weak appetizer, you better hope you got something good for me. As for Al, he faces off against Capella and manages to explode her into pieces, like literal pieces. Her organs and have flown everywhere. Unfortunately for Al, though, Capella could actually regenerate and put herself back together. So this just shows that she's either immortal or she just has a magic power that allows her to stay alive as long as that power remains. So considering that Al is facing up against an immortal, he's either going to lose or be stuck in a stalemate, as if he's not going to be like getting his butt handed either. But other than that, we get to see Garfield and Kurgan continuing the fight, and unfortunately Garfield gets overpowered by him in their second round. When it comes to like Kurgan cornering Garfield, Garfield had no other option and throws him into the water with him just to get away from him. By that time, Garfield will later on reunite with his little two siblings from his blood mother, her two new children. But it's a little short-lived because this is where Garfield makes his final round against Kurgan, the revived animated corpse. Eventually, Garfield, with the help and cheers of his little siblings and the other people, he will later on manage to defeat Kurgan. Although Kurgan did have one of his arms damaged, that he couldn't land a block or a hit on Garfield, so Garfield took advantage of that and managed to get behind him and lands a powerful killing blow that sliced him into pieces. Eventually, Kurgan makes his last comment to Garfield and says, "Well done" or "magnificent," and ends up crumbling away and dies. There's a post-credit scene involving Garfield that he gets really exhausted and later on faints from all the damage and fights that he had with in his long-lasting fight with Kurgan. Eventually, we get to see a scene with Wilhelm and facing up against a revived animated Teresa and says, I love you very much and this is why you need to die and go. And the episode ends off with Wilhelm and Teresa clashing swords against each other once more, and gets ready to possibly finish things off. So overall, the episode was highly action-packed, and it looks like to me we don't really know what's happening with Julius and Ricardo, who's facing up against the other Sin Archbishop of Gluttony. So at this point, they won't be able. We don't really know what's happening with them, but they could possibly struggle. So it could go both ways now. Even though Regulus, Cornelius, and Sirius are defeated. Well, Regulus is already killed, that's for sure. As for Sirius, we don't know what happens to her, but Kurgan's dead, so it looks like to me things are starting to look bright, but it all depends on what's going to happen with Wilhelm and the others. As for the Sim Archbishop of Gluttony that Otto is facing, which is Lai, we don't know how that's going to turn out. So until then, I'll see you guys later. I'm off for Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-oo!